Hey guys, today is a decision day. Which racket will go to the next round? Percept 97H or the Yonex Vcore 98 Tour? Both are kinda on a heavier side of tennis rackets. One is heavier but more headlight, and the other is slightly lighter, but the balance is a bit tricky at 32 centimeters unstrung. Last couple of years I've been playing with heavy but headlight setups, so I was a bit worried about the heavier Vcore 98 Tour. However, and I don't know how Yonex is doing this, both frames are quite user-friendly. Of course, you can't ignore physics, so no matter what I say, keep in mind we are in a heavy category of rackets. And yeah, let's start with maneuverability. Percept 97H is 15 grams heavier than the Vcore 98 Tour. The swing wave is comparable, but the balance point is more headlight. Even though both are quite comparable with swing speeds and swing styles, I would say Percept 97H eats up more energy faster. Vcore 98 Tour is kinda aerodynamic, cutting through the air really good. It doesn't drag you down like a Blade 1820. The wave difference between Percept 97H and Vcore 98 Tour leaves some space for additional customization. Most will probably experiment with how headlight they want to make the Vcore 98 Tour. At the moment I am using a leather grip and it's even easier to accelerate than before. I might try removing the leather grip and just add mass to the bottom of the handle to keep the lower balance with a smaller change in static wave. Keep things as simple as possible because there are some shots that I want them to be snappy and fast. Percept 97H is more traditional, heavy but not too heavy. All advanced players in my opinion will handle this racket, but I'm not sure that you really need that heavy racket to perform well. Percept 97H should be a bit lighter, around 320 grams, and I can see many Percept 97 users switching over to this heavier version. At this point, the target player is just too small, and even if a player can handle those specs, I think other rackets can offer a bit more performance. It feels like Percept 97H is not worth all the energy that it takes to perform good. User friendliness. Vcore 98 Tour for sure is more user-friendly with the wider string spacing and lighter static wave. I do prefer the headlight setup of the Percept 97H, and this improves touch shots and feel quite much in my case, but with Vcore 98 Tour I simply can do much more for less energy consumption. They're similarly stable. Percept 97H may be slightly more, as I feel like the head is also a bit stiffer than the Vcore 98 Tour. Power level. Despite the heavier specs of the Percept 97H, I get more power from the Vcore 98 Tour. It is more responsive and jumpy, so many might struggle with the higher launch angle of the Vcore 98 Tour. It's not shocking high for someone that is used to 16x19 patterns, but it might be a bit difficult for someone switching from a 1820 racket. Spin. Again, despite Percept 97H being slightly more headlight, I get more spin from the Vcore 98 Tour. Not much, but the difference is there. Vcore line, after all, is advertised as a spin-oriented offering from Yonex, so it makes sense that I can produce a heavier ball with the Vcore 98 Tour. Launch angle. And this is probably the reason why I notice a heavier ball with the Vcore 98 Tour. The ball travels slightly higher above the net with greater margin. Because the launch angle is higher, the bounce after touching the ground is slightly more upwards rather than forward. It's a huge generalization, so don't get too much focus on that comment, but often spin is connected with the launch angle, or at least visually it is easier to notice spin with the bigger arch and aggressive tip of the ball. So basically Vcore 98 Tour seems to be better for grinders and clay court players. Percept 97H with a better and more linear plow-through should suit the hard court players a bit better. If I had to choose one, Vcore 98 Tour to me is closer to that happy middle ground. Comfort. Both rackets are comfortable, both rackets feel a bit more raw than muted. I would suggest stringing no higher than 23 kilos and with a string gauge no thicker than 125. Otherwise, you will kill the potential of both frames and limit all the benefits they offer, not to mention the comfort level will decrease as well. Not good. When it comes to control and feel, I have to give an edge to Percept 97H. This line is made for control and feel-oriented players. 97H just gives it in a much heavier package. Vcore 98 Tour is a silent killer where you can exchange points longer and be in the zone, but also you can hit the kill switch on every request. Percept 97H is a tactician and you have to plan your next shots much better in order to do any damage. Efficiency. Altogether, Vcore 98 Tour just offers much more for less in return. It's overall just easier to play with, but should suit similar players. Feel on the swing is kinda similar, but Vcore 98 Tour is a bit faster. Inspiration. Tommy Paul or Hubie Hurkacz? I go with Tommy. He's an ex-blade player just like me. Hurkacz changed to Yonex from Prestige racket, and I think you can kinda see the difference in playstyles and racket selection quite clear. Slightly different movements and fluidity in strokes, things like that. So, although I am a huge fan of Percept 97H, it is simply too demanding to play with. Vcore 98 efficiency is just too good to be ignored, so the winner of this round is Vcore 98 Tour. So this is it, guys. Thanks for watching and hope to see you around. Please subscribe as it helps me grow, and yeah, comment which racket in your opinion will win the whole tournament. Bye bye.